Oh boy, here we go. What a week. Oh my goodness. Okay. It was a Bible adventure freaking tornado this week. Last week I didn't do my update video and I just made a video talking about kind of what I was reading in the Bible because I just finished the Gospels. And man, I've actually made a couple videos this week, which I'll show you real quick. And I made a Bible adventure playlist, right? So I read the Gospels and I'm pissed. This is the one I made last week. Researching the resurrection of Christ, I went on this perplexity deep dive, looking at the historical accounts and how reliable they are, etc. I made this video, a question for Christians about miracles and the Holy Spirit. And then this video is Christianity and Anthill, which is like an idea about how Christianity and religion evolved and its role in society. Anyways, so I made a couple of these videos because I'm like researching this, I'm going down these rabbit holes, and I started getting a bunch of comments on my videos and emails and talking to people about it, and it just got freaking crazy. And I was like, oh. But a lot of people were like, you gotta read The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel, you gotta read it. All these people said this. My dad's been telling me that forever. All these people were doing it. So I was like, okay. So I listened to it on audiobook. And I guess I could just talk about that first, which is I was disappointed. I'm going to be honest because he does make a good case for Christ. I will admit that. The problem is that for me is that he literally only interviews believers and Christians and people that like believe it. He doesn't interview a single skeptic. He doesn't interview a single expert that is contrary to the opinion that it's true. And he kind of softballs strawman arguments to these experts to just smack down like a home run. And it's like, well, dude, it just seemed completely unfair and biased. And I was like, if he would have done that same approach where he interviews a bunch of people who were experts that don't believe in the biblical accounts or that the resurrection happened, he would have had to wrote the case against Christ because it's just, that's what happens when you only interview experts. And it's just, one of the experts he interviews specifically about the resurrection, which in my opinion, everything kind of hinges on. The guy's like, yeah, talks about how he had 4 kids, his wife got stomach cancer and died. And he's talking about how the only way he made it through that was because of the truth of the resurrection. And I'm like, you couldn't have a reason to be more biased to believe in something than that. And obviously that's horrible and sad, but I'm like, dude, like, come on, like, it's just not fair in my opinion. It's like kind of sketchy. So I was super disappointed in that, honestly, and but it was interesting. I will say it was definitely interesting. And there's some, I don't know. To me, I'm just like, eh. I think might do a video just only on that and my opinions on that, but we'll get into my update here, and I think I'm gonna skip these what I'm wondering about section this week. They're not that good, but I guess the one that's interesting is Catholicism outpacing Islam? Just looking at growth, and it's just Islam is the fastest growing religion. I think for the past 50 years or something like that, they're just going crazy. So that's really interesting. I think it's just because they multiply like crazy, like they just have so many kids. But yeah, the Bible adventures are getting crazy, and for me, there's been so many threads I've went down over the past week. Like, it's just been freaking crazy how much the debates I'm watching and the shit I'm reading, and I'm reading the Bible every day and I'm researching it and I'm doing all this, and it's just like so much. But I mean, everything, like, okay, so I get into the rest of the New Testament after the Gospels, and a lot of it's Paul, right? Paul writing Corinthians and Romans and stuff. And it's kind of weird because Paul, he's like saying things like don't get married, and dealing with all these problems in the church. He's like, you shouldn't get married, but if you have to, you can, but it's better if you don't, and women shouldn't talk in church, and like all these things. And I'm like, it's a weird, like, if you read the gospel straight through, if you just have this experience like I have of reading the Bible all the way through, like just kind of continuously, and you read the gospels and you get this vibe of Jesus, and I'm researching all this stuff about Jesus and the resurrection and what his words were, what he taught. And then you get to Paul. Paul keeps like the core of what Jesus says, I feel, but he starts like going off, like it's just a totally different vibe. And I just remember picking up on this and being like, this is weird. Feeling like he's sus. And then I go on Spotify randomly and I get this video and it's Aubrey Marcus with this guy, Aaron Abke, I think. And this guy, Aaron, is like, I think he's starting to pop off and he's like basically against Paul. And he's like, Paul is what the modern church is based on, the teachings of Paul, and much less of what Jesus said and about salvation. He just was saying all this crazy stuff in this interview, but he wasn't getting any pushback from Aubrey. So I didn't even watch the whole thing. I looked up Aaron Abke debate, and I found him debating Wes Huff, which if you're into Bible stuff, you obviously know who Wes Huff is, and he's he's a freaking heavy hitter when it comes to the Bible, right? So I watched this debate, and in my opinion, it was a 2-on-2 debate, and in my opinion, Wes freaking smashed him and wiped the floor with him. But the thing that stuck out to me, unfortunately, I feel like those dudes had some good points. The thing is, what stood out to me is they're arguing. I think it was about a 4.5 or 5 hour debate, and it just blows my mind how much there is to argue and how much is unclear about the Bible, right? And how much weirdness there is with the Old Testament and how it relates to the New Testament, what Jesus said and what he meant, what he maybe meant, and what was really happening, and why is this gospel this way, and it says this in this gospel, but the translation in Greek, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like so convoluted and crazy, right? And I found that with this issue. I found this when I'm looking into the credibility of the Gospels. Like, how many eyewitness accounts were there of Jesus' resurrection in history? Like, how many people saw it and wrote it? And it's generously 3, right, people. And as I'm going down this debate, well, there's this account, and this person talked about it, but they were probably basing it off of this person's account, and da-da-da, and all this. And it's just like this crazy convoluted thing. Like the accuracy of the Old Testament, like how reliable are the Gospels and how do we know it's true, and like these different arguments. And I just think it just pushes me to think like this can't be a divine text. This can't be the word of God, like this divine inspired magical text, because it's just too sketchy, right? It can't be that like Jesus's plan was for us to be this unsure of what it said and what it meant. And I think that's why you have these break off of all these different religions and versions of Christianity, from Catholicism to Orthodox to like all these, to this Aaron Abke guy or whatever and his thing he's doing. It's just doesn't make any sense. I just think it's just seems so man-made. It just seems so incredibly man-made to me. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna keep reading though. I'm gonna make it all the way through and keep just following my curiosity where it leads and trying to keep an open mind and learn what it says, and that's it. And so many people that have commented, they're like, you got to pray about it, and you got to do a prayer, and you got to ask Jesus to come in your heart, and you got to ask the Holy Spirit to reveal itself, and like all this stuff. And I'm like, but I've been doing that, and I am still doing that. And I like, when I was in Bali, I was talking about how I prayed every morning and every night for like probably 2 or 3 weeks, and different types of prayers, try to have different mindsets, sometimes just try to listen, try to just say different things and do different things and try to get something, but nothing. Got nothing, baby. And I still pray now and then, and now when I go to read the Bible, I just say, Jesus, tell me if this is real or whatever, like whatever. And nothing so far. So we'll see though. It's kind of disappointing and frustrating, honestly. Been pulling my hair out. Anyways, just keep ripping it. So far. That's a lot. Sorry, that's a freaking brain dump. Anyways, we'll go to the update. New for me, this Christianity is an anthill video. If you click the link to my, in the description to my post, you can get all this stuff. I have also this Bible Adventures playlist I made with like all these Bible videos on it. Man, it's getting dark. Yeah, so anyways. Okay, this is cool. What I'm watching, Tron and Predator Badlands. I went and saw it in the theater. And bro, let me say, Tron was fire, dude. I got really bad reviews, but like I'm a CGI nerd, and so Judah and I, who's staying with me, we went and we rented the cinema here in the condo, and we watched the first Tron to kind of prep ourselves, and then we went downtown and I found like one of the best theaters here. Big ass Dolby Atmos, like recliners, freaking crazy, bro. Like, and there was like no one in there. And so we're in this giant theater, and it was, dude, it was sick, bro. The sound design was sick. The acting was good for the most part, in my opinion. The CGI was bananas. It looked freaking awesome. It was just, I loved it. I had such a good experience, and I want to go to I want to go to the theater so much more. I'm like, it's such a sick experience, and like the theaters are so good now, and the sound and the screens and everything. It was awesome. So, anyways, 10 out of 10 for me on that. And then I went and saw Predator Badlands because I saw the trailer when I went to see Tron, and the trailer looked sick. And so I took this shorty that I've been hanging out with here, and we went to the bed cinema. So it's like, dude, it's bougie as shit, bro. It's so sick. And you get the tickets, and it comes with like popcorn and snacks and drinks, and there's like a bar, and you can just get whatever you want. And then you go, and it's like these recliner beds, and it's like a massage bed, and it's got a remote and blankets for you and everything, and it's like comfy as shit, and the screen's freaking insane, and it was just sick, dude. I was like, yes. The movie was sick, loved it. And just the experience was sick. It's like bougie and dope, and like it was just so fun. And I'm like, dude, I love the theater, dude. I'm like, freaking want to go to a trillion movies. Um, at least here, dude, these cinemas and the situation they got here. Okay, the cool thing is after the movie, there's this whole thing, and you basically make an account. You scan this code, make an account, and there's a full like exhibit, and you go in. It's like Predator exhibit, right? And they have like freaking literally all the props and shit in there. So it's like his sword in a glass case and like all the bones and shit, and it's like freaking dope. And it's got lights in there. It's got all this crazy shit in there. Here, I'll show you. On my photo dump, I took a picture at the end. I'll get to this later. Yeah. So this is me in the mask and the Predator mask. But dude, the thing is, there's these games. So it's like, are you a predator or are you prey? So it's like these reflex games where the things drop down, and it's all like crazy lighting and plants, like the planet and stuff in there. And you got to grab the things when they fall down, your reflexes, which I nailed it, bro. If I could have done it again, I would have done way better, but I still was. The dude in front of me didn't get a single one, and then I went and I was like, chow, chow, chow. I think I got half of them. And one of them, I almost got it, but I hit it and it went off in the bushes. Anyways, then there's like a shooting one where there's all these targets and they turn red, and it's like a laser gun and you got to shoot them. And then there's the one where you got to sneak through these crazy plants that like in the movie they shoot out needles, but in this they just like hiss and spray if you like alert them, and you got to sneak through without alerting them. And I got Predator mode. I was so competitive about it, but it was so fun. I was like, dude, this is freaking sick. They got this like whole setup here. It was so cool, and it was like so dope, like all the props they had and everything. I was like, bro, come on. So that was really fun. And I loved the movies, and I had a freaking great time. So okay, moving on here to what I'm watching. Here's the interview I was talking about, Wes Huff and Aaron Abke. Bro, it's wild. It's freaking wild, bro. It's just a headache. But anyways, I will say Wes Huff is a freaking killer, dude. He's such a savage. Here's the thing though. When it comes to anything biblical, he rips, bro. He knows about the manuscripts. He knows about the Hebrew. He reads Greek. He is freaking deep in this stuff, right? He's a legend. But when they start raising questions and issues of just like logic, right? Does this make sense? Like if Jesus did this, why would he do this? And like da da da. He literally just you know, and it's like that to me as I'm going through all this stuff. One, it's crazy that it's so hard to understand what the Bible really says and understand the context and the translations and like what Jesus really said, and is it reliable, and why is this gospel that way, and like the contradictions and all this. There's that problem. But even with that, even if you just say, okay, I'm going to accept all of that face value, the logical fallacies are just gnarly, right? It just, the situation of sacrifice for sins and heaven and hell and salvation and what the hell is going on, like it just, you can't really make sense of it. It's just so sketchy and makes absolutely no sense, right? You know, these ideas of blood sacrifice for your sins, and then Jesus was like the ultimate sacrifice, but like Jesus, when people are asking him, what do I have to do to be saved? He's like, you have to believe in me and have faith and blah, blah, blah. But he hasn't even been crucified yet. So it's like, why? It's like, that doesn't make sense. And even then, it's like, bro, why would God make a system where he knows he's going to have to send his son to die for the sins, and he set up the whole thing? And it just even from that perspective, it makes no freaking sense. So it's kind of annoying and hard. But anyways, that's another rant on that. Okay. Chris Williamson vlog. Awesome. Dude's just a legend, bro. Love him. I watch these vlogs and I go, dude, it's just so inspiring to me. And he's such a legend. I love it. Okay, what I'm reading, Second Corinthians I got to today. Very sus. And the Case for Christ audiobook, which I already talked about. What I'm listening to, Smooth by Chainsmokers again. Really growing on me. It's just such a good vibe. Love it. Okay, photo dump. This is me before I work out. My beard is getting giant. Yeah. This is me, which the shorty I'm hanging with, Patanawadi. She took this of me with her little digital camera on the roof. Skin's looking pretty good because I don't use any products. But anyways, this is a picture I took downtown of the clouds. This is young Judah. So me and Judah went to, okay, so two things. I was like, yo, he's never like lifted weights. So I was like, let's go lift weights. So I took him up there and we freaking ripped it. And I killed him by accident. And he was like, at the end, he's like, I'm gonna puke, bro. Oh. And he was like toasted. And I was like, I'm sorry. But anyways, then we went down to the buffet, all you can eat, cook it yourself Thai buffet, and just freaking went to town. And then he passed out on the couch. And then I went to the movie and I came back and he was still sleeping on the couch. So funny. But anyways, yeah, this is Predator Badlands video or photo. So cool, bro. Freaking cool. I love that type of shit. This is this Catholic church thing, bro. This is their Serpent Cathedral, I guess. And dude, if that doesn't look demonic and occult, I don't know what does. It's so weird. The outfits, the whole thing they do, I'm getting, Catholic Church kind of freaks me out a little bit. And I've been watching a million Candace Owens videos. I like watch her show all on weekdays. And like, she's like so about Catholicism and she's like Catholic everything. And it's like, Catholics are like that a lot of times. Like I've always come across Catholics and they're just like Catholic. And it's just weird to me. It's like, that's the thing. When you read Jesus and you look at his life and his ministry and everything he said, it's like, how does it turn into this thing we see today with these churches and all these weird rituals and outfits and like weird shit that happens? Like, it's so weird. I don't get it. Weird. Anyways. And then this is a YouTube comment I got on one of my videos about struggling with my faith. This guy said, a butterfly tattoo under the eye and one ear is pierced. Dude's faith is tested because he's gay. I love it. It made me laugh so hard. And I said, dude, for the record, both my ears are pierced. Just one's a dangly and one's like a stud. So take that. But anyways, that's funny. Okay, last thing here. Let's get to my music demo. I wrote a song because after my rant about the Gospels and being sketchy about it, I made a song about it called Clarity. So it's about not trusting the Bible. Here we go. It's a banger though. It feels like my and it's bad though. Vocals are bad. I wonder why I try to hold out my hand. Yeah, they try to tell me it's a heads up. I can see it coming and I know if I don't then I'll forever be a dead one. Trying to not miss whatever this is, but with every word I read I'm getting harder to face. And now I don't know what to think and say it's all in front of me, but I guess I'll just keep trying to be open. Feels like my head's underwater, don't know why I even bother. I try to hold out my hand, I can't reach blood, brother, father.
This man truly was sad.
I'm gonna believe what the right words say on the 5K hate count day. If I say please, would you talk to me plainly? Or do I gotta ask this daily? Maybe I'm too far away to get the message. Too unlike the children that he blesses. Maybe the least of these has been increasingly unexpected. Yet still feels like my head's underwater. Don't know why I even bother. I try to hold out my hand, I can't reach blood, brother, father. Dun, 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 trying to be. Yeah, I try to be patient. Maybe I think too basic. If I can't see it, maybe I need LASIK. Why am I unconvinced by the mud in eyes and two guys who walked when they used to LASIK? It feels like my head's underwater, and I wonder why. Yeah. I try to hold out my hands, I can't reach blood, bread, or father. Father, father. Da 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 da, ba 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 ba, da 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 da. Okay, I got more work to do on that, but that's just a quick demo, and I got music day tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun. I'm stoked to work on that, and there's a couple other songs. There's this other song I have that I never showed on here because it was before I started doing that. But I'll play it real quick. I think I'm going to work on it tomorrow too. It's kind of cool. But it's really bad, so that's why I don't want to show it. But I don't care. What was it called? Probably Dream Track? Demo. Oh no, it's called Maybe Dreams. Demo. I think. I might regret playing this. No, it's not that. What was it called? Jump Home. Oh, I got so many songs I can't even know what it's called. Boom, ba, ba, boom, ba, ba. Let me see if I can search it. I think it was called oh, My Best. No. But it's a cool idea. I gotta like redo the frickin'. Why isn't it in here? I know it's in here. I just always name the folders something different. Bear with me. Let's go date modified. Oh, is it this? No. Maybe I can't find it. Was it this one? No. Energy. Wings. Head up. Maybe it's this one. Last try. Nope. Not this one. What could it be? Honey, garden, steady. Steady, no. I don't know what it is. I can't find it. I gotta find it before tomorrow, though. Oh, is it this? Nope. Okay, anyways. Can't find it. Sorry for wasting your time on that. Anyways, thanks for watching. It's free to subscribe to my blog. If you click the link in the description, you can get my updates each week. It goes right in your inbox. And stay up to date with me. And also check out the playlist, my YouTube playlist, if you want to sound off on my Bible Adventures videos or get in the comments or whatever. Some of them have a crazy comment conversation going on. Anyways, it's dark out, and I'm going to go in the sauna and go swimming.